Allah the Father of the universe.
Allah the Father of the universe.
Father love.
Father love.
Truth.
Truth.
Peace.
Peace.
Freedom.
Freedom.
And justice.
And justice.
Allah is my protector.
Allah is my protector.
My God.
My God.
And my salvation.
And my salvation.
By night.
By night.
And by day.
And by day.
Through his holy prophet.
Through his holy prophet.
You are
Through all of me.
Amen.
Amen.
Islam.
Islam.
First I give praise to Allah.
First, I give praise to Allah,
The great God of the universe.
the great God of the universe.
I give honor to his holy divine prophet.
And give honor to his holy and divine prophet,
Noble Dwali.
Noble Dwali,
The founder of the Moorish scientific movement.
the founder of the Moorish scientific movement.
I give honor to the forerunners of the prophet.
I give honor to the forerunners of the prophet,
Brother Marcus Garvey.
Brother Muhammad.
I give honor to all true and divine prophets. Allah.
I give honor to all true and divine prophets of Allah.
Jesus.
Jesus,
Muhammad.
Muhammad,
Buddha.
Buddha,
Confucius.
Confucius,
Etc.
etc.
I give honor to the pastor praying granted by the moderator of the Moorish scientific movement.
I give honor to the Assyrian Grand God's moderators of the Moorish scientific movement.
Brother C. Kirkman Bay.
Brother C. Kirkman Bay,
Brother Nelson Bay.
Brother Nelson Bay,
And Brother J. Blakely Bay.
and Brother J. Blakely.
I give honor to the past and former Grand Sheik and moderator of the Moorish scientific movement.
I give honor to the past and former Sheikh and moderator of the Moorish scientific movement.
Brother Al-Nabi.
Brother all of you.
I give honor to the present Grand Sheik who is the moderator of the Moorish scientific movement.
I give honor to the president, Sheikh, who is moderator of the Moorish scientific movement.
Brother Al-Jamal Bay.
Brother all Thomas Bay.
I give honor to the assistant Grand Sheik of the Moorish scientific movement.
I give honor to the assistant Sheikh of the Moorish scientific movement.
Brother A. Hoffman Bay.
Brother Thomas Bay.
I give honor to the Grand National Chairman of the Moorish scientific movement.
I give honor to the chairman of the Moorish scientific movement.
Brother P. Chasey.
Brother B.J.C.
I give honor to all national, state, and local officials of the Moorish scientific movement.
I give honor to all national, state, and local officials of the Moorish scientific movement.
I give honor to the Grand Governor of Washington, D.C.
I give honor to the Grand Governor of Washington, D.C.
Brother H. Harris Bay.
Brother H. Harris Bay.
To his assistant.
To his assistant,
Sister P. John Bay.
Sister E. Johnson Bay.
I give honor to all Sheikhs and members of the Moorish scientific movement.
I give honor to all Sheikh is one of the Moorish scientific movement.
I give honor to all auxiliaries of the Moorish scientific movement.
I give honor to all Israelis of the Moorish scientific movement.
I give honor to the American flag,
I give honor to the American flag,
the Moorish flag,
the Moorish flag,
to our charter.
to our child.
I give honor to everything that the prophet brought
I give honor to everything that our Lord,
for the uplifting of fellow humanity.
for the uplift of all men,
Give honor to man.
give honor to man.
Peace.
Peace.
Salvation, our God unity. The Moorish scientific of America, the divine constitution of our law. Act 1. The Grand Sheik and the chairman of the Moorish scientific of America is empowered to make law and enforce laws with the assistance of the prophet and grand body of the Moorish scientific of America. The assistant Grand Sheik is to assist the Grand Sheik in all affairs if he lives according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and is known for the members of the Moorish scientific of America. Act 2. All meetings are to be open and closed promptly according to Circle 7 and love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Friday is our holy day of rest because on a Friday, the first man born in flesh, and on a Friday, the first man departed out of flesh and ascended to the Father God Allah. For that cause, Friday is a holy day for all Muslims all over the world. Act 3. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice must be proclaimed and practiced by all members of the Moorish scientific movement. No member to put in danger or accuse falsely his brother or sister, or any case at all that may harm his brother or sister with Allah's love. And 4. All members must preserve these holy divine laws, and all members must obey the laws of the government. Because of being in Moorish America, you are a part and parcel of the government and must live like according. At 5. This organization of the Moorish scientific of America is not to cause any confusion or to overthrow the laws and constitution of the state government, but to obey hereby. And 6. With us, all members must proclaim their nationality, and we are teaching our people their nationality and their divine creed, that they may know that they are a part and a parcel of the state government, and know that they are not Negroes, colored folks, but our people, or Ethiopians. Because these names were given to slaveholders in 1779, and lasted until 1865 during the time of slavery. But this is a new era time now, and all men now must proclaim a free national name to be recognized by the government which he led and the nation This is the reason why Allah, the great God of the universe, ordained no God, the prophet, to redeem people in a simple way. The Moors shall murder not the descendants of ancient Moabites, whom inhabit the northwestern and southwestern shore of the valley. And 7. All members must promptly attend their meetings and become a part, any partial of all uplifting that to the Moorish time to America. Members will pay their dues and keep an eye on the necessities of the Moorish time to America, then you are entitled to a name of faith. Husband, you must support your wife and children. Wife, you must obey your husband and take care of your children and look after duties of your household. Sons and daughters must obey father and mother and be industrious and become a part of the other single fall of humanity. All Moorish Americans keep their hearts and minds filled with love and their body clean with water. This divine covenant from the Holy Prophet, Noble Ali, through the guidance of his Father God, Allah. Noble Ali founder, Moorish American prayer. Allah, the Father of the universe, Father, love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah, my protector, my God, and my salvation, by night and by day. Through his Holy Prophet, Koran, amen. The Moorish Science of our America, P.O. Box 387-600, Orland Drive, Greenbelt, Maryland, 20768. That's what I read from the Divine Constitution of Bible. Now I'd like to read from the questionnaire and additional law for the Moorish American by the Prophet Noble Ali. Act 1. Grand sheikhs and governors and heads of all temples, all businesses. Each said temple must be approved by the Prophet Noble Ali. Before acting upon by any members, let it be financed property, or any line like that will cause them to sacrifice finance, etc., that will cause the support of any group of members. Any former officer that violates these laws is subject to be removed from his office under heavy restrictions set by the Prophet of the Grand Sheikh. Act 2. All members are to attend at meetings and in public meetings promptly. If a member is found standing around their meeting period, shall be fined 50% on the first case, and on the second, he'll be fined $1, which will be an emergency fine. If a member is working, his monthly dues must be paid. And if he has money in the bank, he must describe what much is he able to the Moorish Upliftment Fund, because they finance to uplift the nation. Act 3. It is lawful and divine duty of every good member, if he is able to finance to aid in saving the nation. And if he does not, he is an enemy to the cause of uplifting his own people, justice, and capture. Let it be he or she according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. As I had the power invested in my hands, I will support the Lord in order to save the nation. Act 4. All members, while making a public speech, must not use any assertion against the American flag or speak radical against the church or any member of any organized group that will rather teach love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Act 5. All members must properly attend their meetings, attend the children's Sunday school, and the teacher must confirm himself to the questionnaire, and let every member exercise his 5 senses who they will do so. Because offering Sunday school from the guidance of the nation. Act 6. The first all members must proclaim their nationality, and we are teaching our people their nationality and their divine creed, that they may know that they are a part and parcel of this said government, and know that they are not Negroes, colored folks, black people, or Ethiopians, because these names were given to slaves by slaveholders in 1779 and lasted until 1865 during the time of slavery. But this is a new era time now, and all men now must proclaim their free national name to be recognized by the government which they live and the nations of the earth. This is the reason why Allah, the great God of the universe, ordained Noble Ali, the prophet, to redeem his people in a simple way. The Moors emerged under the descendants of ancient Moabites, who inhabit the northwestern and southwestern shore of the valley. Act 7. All members must promptly attend their meetings and become a part, any partial of all uplifting after the Moorish time temple. Members must pay their dues and keep an eye on all necessities of the Moorish time temple. Then you are entitled to a name of faith. Husband, you must support your wife and children. Wife, you must obey your husband and take care of your children and look after the duties of your household. Sons and daughters must obey father and mother and be industrious and become part of the uplifting of all humanity. All Moorish Americans keep their hearts and minds filled with love and their bodies clean with water. This divine covenant is from the holy prophet Noah Blue, the guidance of his father God, Allah. That's what I read from the question and this alone in all 7 acts. Then I'd like to read from the Holy Koran of the More Time to the Martha. Divine prepared by the noble prophet Noah. I'd like to read from chapter 48, the end of time, fulfilling of the prophecy. The last prophet in these days is Noah, who was prepared divine in due time by Allah to redeem them from the simple way and the warning of the great wrath which is sure to come upon the earth. John the Baptist was a forerunner of Jesus in those days to warn and stir the nation, prepare them to receive the divine creed, which was taught by Jesus. These modern days came a forerunner who was divinely prepared by the great God Allah. His name is Mount God, who did teach in one nation of the earth to prepare to become a prophet, who was to bring the true divine creed of Islam. And his name is Noah, who was prepared to send to this earth by Allah to teach the old time religion and the everlasting gospel to the sons of men, that every nation shall worship under their own divine fig tree and return to their own and be one with their Father God. Allah. That's what I read from chapter 48. Every time fulfilling the prophecies, instruction 1, 2, and 3. That's my most. I'd like to welcome out to our Sunday school here at Temple 71 here in Washington, D.C. I invite all the members, the guests, the Wayfair sympathizers, all the viewers to our Sunday school, where in Sunday school you exercise. Repeat that again, you exercise your 5 senses. Those things that we have read about, those things we have heard about, this is where you exercise your 5 senses. And there is no wrong answer or question or concern. This is where we exercise our 5 senses. And everybody had that portion of understanding, so we want to, share with each other. Today we have been instructed in our Sunday school by the Grand National Chairman of the Morris High to Brother P.J.Z. who will instruct our Sunday school. So we're going to have a moment of silent meditation before I call our instructor. Islam. So, without further ado, I'd like to call our instructor, the Grand National Chair of the Morris High to Brother P.J.Z. is also the Grand Chief here at Temple 70. Anybody need to dictionary, question here? Yeah.
Everybody check the phone.
Son? See how most American prayer is. God, now the universe, power of love, truth, peace, beauty, and justice. God is my protection, my guide, and my salvation, my night and my day. Through the Son of prophet, through our way. Amen. Praise God. This round, most. I pray everyone has been good spirits today. Pray you all have your literature. Not only have it with you, but you've been studying it, practicing it, making it a part of the head and heart, so that we can get through these trying times that we're in. You all know
from the teachers of our holy prophet. If you've been in this Moore Science Temple of America as the last meeting, and you know that we're living in the end of time and the fulfilling of the prophecies. And many of our prophecies that the prophet has given to us are coming to pass. And it's a great thing that we are learning about these things, but more importantly, that we accept what the prophet is teaching us in our holy Koran, the Moore Science Temple of America. Lesson of be here, and even as we see the events of life here on earth unfolding before our own face, we should be able to do this and say what to ourselves and nobody else about what the prophet said. What should we be able to say to ourselves looking at the events of the day about what's taking place? Come on, brother, friend, with that.
We got to know that, what's coming.
We bless to know what's coming because we've been warned.
Right.
Okay? Come on, brother. Haven't stopped late. It was something that you should be able to attest to based on what the prophet has told you about these times that we're in.
Well, the prophet said, I'm going to lower down the evil spirits and let them incarnate.
Stop right there.
Uh-huh.
Stop right there. See, and this is the train of thought with what Brother Fenwick just said and what you just said. And I would like to see us make your comments on what I'm asking relevant to what you are seeing that the prophet prophesied. Come on, Brother Dixon Hill. Give me something that you have bear witness to that the prophet prophesied that we are in right now. Or at least your perception of it. I'm coming to you.
Prophet Noble reported that he was going to stop the European from thinking that you Moors were thinking for their own good.
Stop there. That's great. Come on, Sister Chandra. Since your hand was up.
As the prophet stated something to the effect that the wild animals are, we're going to see the wild animals and such like that.
Walking up and down the street.
Roaming that area.
Yeah, good. Come on, Brother Eighth Bunch, baby. Give me something that you heard the prophet or the reported the prophet said that we are able to bear witness to, or at least have some understanding of from that perspective of his prophecy. Go ahead.
The prophet said that any condition that you find yourself in, self-created by the way self-thinking.
Well, all that is true. Well, we know that that's not a verbatim statement, but you are absolutely correct. All right, Brother Thompson, give me something that comes to your mind.
Shalom.
Yes, sir.
Praise on the prophet, Chase on this correct.
When we come back to you,
Yes, sir.
All right. Brother J. Mars Bay. John, you heard my question, right?
Could you repeat it one more time?
I was speaking in reference to the times that we're in right now. The prophet has prophesied about these times. Give me something that you can bear witness to that comes to mind of what some of the prophecies that the prophet has prophesied that we're able to actually see for ourselves or have some idea from what it is.
Hurricanes, the changes in the weather, the sickness, the disease,
Good.
the lack of
No,
calmness in the land.
You're not getting it all. No. See, I'm getting a part of it from everybody.
That's right.
The animals roam. The evil spirits. The different things that you all are saying. See, we got to see these things collectively, but there are a combination of different things, and we got to connect them together. And what Brother Bunch Bay said about the way you think that we're created. Okay, come on, Sister McGee Bay.
Is like good boys will live and people in the South giving up. And that's what
Exactly, and we'll help you out. He probably did warn. He said, you have people in the South, get them out. So that's where destruction is going to start. All right. Come on, Sister S. Johnson here. Yeah, I'm going to everybody. Get ready. Stop thinking about your point. Because everybody supposed to be in here having been paid attention and studying that you supposed to hold something. Come on.
One thing that just came to mind was the prophets. It was reported the prophet stated, I'm not saying verbatim, but that we're going to see blood up to a horse's brow.
Yes.
Praise the Lord.
Yes. Yeah, you can look at your literature if you need to look at the old quotes and all those things, just to remind yourself of what it is. So John J. Morris Bay James, you have your hand up.
One of the things that come to mind for me would be the fact that, it's not verbatim, but I might get some help. One or two of them get together, group of them get together, they would not come to, be able to come to a decision or make rational decisions. When one or two of them two or three of them get together, they won't be able to make decisions.
Okay. Well, what we're going to do is give him a little bit of help on that. And he's talking about the Europeans. Right. The prophet talks about when a group of, I'm not sure of the number, somebody look it up in the old post. When 2, 3 or more come together to plan something, and they're going to do something. They're going to go back and tear it up because it's not going to work. It's not verbatim, but to that effect of your point. And you can see that the way, as the brother said, he's going to stop the European from thinking. That's a result of that as it relates to the thoughts and ideas that they come up with. They're going to go back and tear it up because they're going to realize those thoughts and ideas they having right now are not working. But y'all look that up and see exactly what that quote says. Come on, brother, Easton, here.
I was thinking as you were speaking, like they was talking about the abortion thing now. At first they was against it, now they're trying to switch it up because it ain't working. But my thought was, prophets ain't gonna stop the European from thinking. And start us from thinking for our own good. I think Brother Dixon will say.
Yes, he did.
Okay.
I'll come
He
back
said,
to you.
no, he said he's gonna teach, he's gonna keep the European here long enough to teach us how to run the government.
Yes. And that's important for us to pay attention to right now. We the European here just long enough to teach us how to run the government. Now that should have a profound effect on us as Morris American model, as we're coming out of this Sunday school as what?
Leaders.
According to the word. Guiders of the nation. That means we got to be prepared to learn how to guide the nation, and look at it. Also should emphasize to us the importance of us paying attention to how the European is running the government. If he's going to teach us, then we got to learn what he's doing.
That's right.
The difference between what they teach us, and remember, and oftentimes there's a misconception about things. There's nothing wrong with the political system that this government has. And we are part and parcel of it. What's wrong with it is how they doing it. It's been set up. Didn't the prophet say that the Constitution of the United States is one of the greatest documents ever written? You got to study all this. You ain't just talking, but it's how they manipulate it by the connivance of the law we're talking about that makes what they do in violation of even that great document. So that's what he's teaching us, how we got to look between the lines, so to speak, and really be able to read what's going on, because the information that the prophet has brought to us about the different things and the way the government is set up, and then you got to really remember this. Who taught them how to run government? But this time he said we're going to go back and do it according to what? That's what's missing. Nothing wrong with the system they have, is how they utilize it and the parts that are missing. He said the problem of life in a profound sense are moral and spiritual. That's what's missing. Morality and the spirituality for man here on earth to conduct his ways of life while he's here. The lack of having God involved. Come on, brother Asian Will, give us up. Brother Thompson Hill, I'm coming back to you. You say you want me to come back. You ready?
I'm ready.
Come on.
Yes, sir. Probably let us know that love is the only savior of the world.
Yes. Yes, it is. Come on, brother K-Lady, man.
I was thinking about this, before the Papa said we have to learn Spanish. I think we have to learn Spanish.
That's good.
That's great.
Why do you think he said that?
Hmm?
Why do you think he said that?
You can see it. You see it, they're here. And they also, they are going to be part of the government too, I believe.
Okay. Anybody else about Spanish?
And also, it's the second most spoken language behind English.
Thank you.
Also, the population has changed
Right.
drastically since the time the Papa made those quotes. You have the Hispanics, for lack of a better word. They're gravitating here at a record number. I mean, they're becoming one of the, maybe third to us. They might be population-wise. They might be surpassing
Jordan,
Yeah, the Latino population, Latino members in this country, especially as migration, both legal and economy, illegal.
And they also are brothers.
Yes,
Brother, yeah.
praise God. Okay. So Evans Bay, how you doing, my brother?
I'm fine, thank
Have you been reading the prophet's teachings?
you. Yes, yes.
Do you remember or recall anything the prophet said or prophesied about these times we're in right now?
He said something about we see Asiatic president.
That's right.
Good, good. And he said it, and it would be fair that we had, not verbatim, but fair we had. So we have an Asiatic president, we have a European vice president. And if we had a European president, it would be fair we had an Asiatic vice president. We've experienced both of those in our lives. So that's a blessing. We see those. Well, sing there, you ready? True. Okay. Come on, Brother T. I got you, Brother Crawford. Go ahead, Brother Crawford. And I'm coming back to you, Brother T. Try here.
Father said the public is ungrateful and unstable.
The public is ungrateful and unstable. Don't we see that every day? Yes, indeed. That's another one we got to pay attention to. The instability that is being shown out here. No regard for principle, no regard for humankind, and the rights of others. And no matter what good people do, they still be discredited and dishonored. So you got to expect that. That's another reason that goes along with the fact that the prophet is teaching us that we must be strong men and women, and you got to be prepared to take something. Because the public is unstable and ungrateful. So you don't get caught up just because they don't see it. Come on, Brother Thompson Hill.
Yes, sir. I recall saying, I think that if we doubt I'm a prophet, watch my prophecies.
Yes. Yes.
It's love.
And that's it. And that's we as most Americans supposed to be conscious of. We right now are living in it, so we're watching for the prophecies to unfold right before our face.
That's right.
And that means you gotta go back and stay in your literature. But also go back and familiarize yourselves with some of the things that the prophet has prophesied that are gonna take place, because they will.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They will take place. What did he say along that line when I just said they will? Because he made a quote about that.
Say it again, Brother
What statement did the prophet make along the line? I said that they will, everything he prophesied will. But he made a statement in reference to it after that. If any jot or tittle fail to come to pass, all right, of the words that he spoke, of the prophecies that he made. Find that quote too, because I want to make sure we're saying it verbatim. Islam, come on,
He
brother.
also said, if you got my prophet, if you doubt my,
Doubt that I'm a prophet?
like, yeah, that's right.
Then watch my prophet. But Thompson Hill just said
Okay,
that.
I didn't.
Yeah, but y'all on the same page. Come on, brother, to fly.
Yeah, I was thinking about, I'm not saying it, I don't think I'm saying it verbatim, but it was said that the prophet said, watch the TV and listen to your radios. They're gonna make the European tell the truth. And if you've been paying attention, they've been telling the truth.
Well, let me help you out a little bit.
Go ahead.
Because you gotta put your mindset in that picture of the time frame when it was said.
Uh-huh.
It wasn't in, we ain't had TV back then.
Yeah.
He said, read the newspaper
Yeah,
and listen to the radio.
Very loud, very loud. Very loud.
There was radios back then.
Right.
That was just big broadcast to the public over the airways. All right. Now, you got anything about Chet?
I'm just thinking, you know, the prophet prophesied a lot of things. And we appear to know what he prophesied. So, the question is, are we ready when that happens? Or we just know it's coming and then what? They're ready, ready, get ready, be ready to stay ready.
That's good. And that's good, and that's equally important for the time we in and the warnings that he has given us in our preparation for this time that we are experiencing. One of the things I often say when I'm up here, sometimes when Spectrum was speaking, is that the most Americans should be the last ones caught, like a deer in the head right now. After all this information he done gave us, after all the warnings that we done been studying and reading, after the prophecies that he has, and all statements that he's made that we're supposed to be studying and practicing, we should be the last ones caught. Like we don't unprepared, as the Grand Chief just said, Sister Grand Chief. You're not ready, get ready. If you are, stay ready. And what entails that part? What comes up under that? Just immediately a couple of things for us as Morris Americans that the prophet told us to do, and you see them talking about it all the time. Go ahead, say that. 90-day supply. What's that one? Boil your water. Have your little emergency pack, your whip bag in your home or in your vehicle. Remember he said, pray that you don't have to make your flight in the wintertime. So that should let you know, he said, pray that you don't have to make your flight in the winter time because the conditions will be more challenging. But he didn't say we ain't gonna make a flight.
Right, right.
We're gonna make a flight. We just have to pray that it don't be in the wintertime when it's cold or the snow is up to our knees. So the point is, again, you're not ready, get ready. If y'all stay ready. By the time you're at the end, come on.
Sure.
And I'm coming back to you, bro.
I recall that the prophet said, told Moore that if he can get you to think, you can save yourself.
Yes, there's somebody mentioned that, but there's always one that we gotta continue to mention. All right, brother, somebody else had their hand. Oh, that's right, brother. Shane Hill. It's the 80 over there in the cut.
I'm gonna read number 64 from the
Yes.
Old Statements.
Read it.
The Holy Prophet Noble Drew already said, don't worry about how you are going to be saved. It will be done in conflict and cannot be told in words.
That's exactly correct. So, Davis here, you got anything? Our question was about something that the prophet said that we experiencing now. Go ahead.
I don't have anything off the top of my head, but I do notice that I don't have that literature. I've never seen that literature. All I have is a Circle 7 Quran.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have the Old Statements.
All right. And you have a lot of it. You have a humanities sample?
Only thing that I was given was my Circle 7 Quran and the chart.
Who instructed you about what literature you should have or the list of the literature? You may not have been given it, but I'm just sharing with you. There's a list. And some things you gotta look at. If you see others with it in their hand that has more signs, some of them right on it, they have more literature. You have one of these? Your Morris literature. Your humanity is planted, and these are large size. Most of them are smaller than this one. They come in two sizes. Your humanity is planted. Your old statements, your songbook, the old statements is the prophecies. What else? Help me out, Mom.
Islam.
Yeah, I do have competition.
Okay.
Any question?
So you have to see me after me, or I may obey Brother Kenan Bayer and get your whole package of it. Yeah, the key things that you're supposed to have in your Koran questionnaire, divine constitution and bylaws, those are the first pieces that you're supposed to get. And you can continue to get all of it together. If you have all the books or have been sanctioned by the organization.
I see that.
Maybe some other prints that have been put out, that Morse definer, which define different words and helps the Morse look up words and stuff like that. You know, it's a few different things, but we should have a list on the system.
We're gonna get,
Secretary or one of the Morse.
we have weapon and kit.
And we're gonna start, we're trying to redo our welcome kit, which we normally pass out to all the newer members or even the older members. And so we're trying to get that updated, as well as we have to have in schedule, because there's just been a lot going on. Scheduling orientation, another orientation, and that's where you introduce to all those things. Come on, brother. Give us something that's from the prophet that you recall over prophesied.
Well, I went back to 71, where it said, before one jot or tittle of my word failed to come to pass, heaven and earth will pass away.
Good.
That's the whole statement.
I spoke in reference to that, and I'm glad you read it. So that's what we want to remember. That everything the prophet said is spirit and is the truth, so that we have to take heed, so that we can know that this is what's going to take place, and not think it may take place, it will take place. So, prior, go ahead.
No.
Who else you have?
Yeah, I was speaking.
Oh, you got one. Come on, brother.
I was just thinking, two things.
Mm-hmm.
First one, the time the world won't be no more.
Right.
Also, being that the prophet prophesied certain things, some of us be surprised when things happen.
Right.
Because it's already been prophesied, you've already read it, you've already seen it. But when it happens, we'd be surprised, is that in reaction or is that doubting the prophets, the prophecies?
Right. So that's what praise happen when it takes place. So what we learn is that there are no happenings. Law governs all of this. Our mindset should always be set right there because, to your point, there is no surprise because law governs all events. There are no happenings. There are no accidents. Law governs all events. We're learning the science of this. The science of life here on earth. So we got to know that when something does take place, and why do these things take place, and why they're not any happenings, and why do you think they're not any accidents? And if you have something you want to contribute, bro, I'm going to call you in a minute. Well, why do you think in your development, why are there no happenings? Why are there no accidents?
Law governs all events.
Okay, that's the problem. I'm asking you why.
Because there's a reason for everything.
Yes, and why? And my question is why? Come on, brother J. Morris Bay.
The question was why are there no
Why are
accidents?
there no happenings? Why are there no accidents?
Because law governs all events.
That's what the prophet has told us. But I'm asking, once you answer that, why?
Because law governs.
Okay, come on. I'm gonna share it with you in a minute. Y'all already know it, but y'all ain't saying it. Come on.
Those of Allah from the everlasting of the past to the never days to come.
Right.
Because outlaws do it indirectly.
Right. But y'all still pass it over the fact that because man created. We create the conditions that we find ourselves in.
Yeah.
That's why it's no happy. He didn't let you know you were created to make your own. And when that hellish condition exists, you did it. We did it. That's why. And that's the law, because the law says man creates heaven or hell for himself. So there's nowhere else to look. There's nobody to blame. It's for us to look at ourselves and think, and our thinking, somebody talked about it, is what's helping you create these calamities or the good things that you receive in life. Sister, I'm going to hit you in a minute. You was trying to read something?
No.
Okay, come on.
I was just thinking with that thought, Rob saying he's gonna make it so simple that who can hear or something to that effect.
Yes. Yes, that's another one, and that's a good one.
Yes.
He's going to make his teaching so plain. And what does that mean to you?
Yes.
But look at the whole statement. Look at the whole statement. Make my teaching so plain that a fool cannot err. What's the part that makes it so that the fool can't err?
Plain and simple.
What's the part that makes it so that the fool can't err?
Simplicity of it.
It's a part that you will get. I know y'all, what y'all saying is correct.
The choice, what you make.
Yes. And you
Understand
want
whether you choose to obey.
that's
or
the
disobey.
part. If a fool obeys the prophet, he ain't gonna err either. No matter how foolish we are. We live life in moments. All of us play that role. You just said it. With the choices that we make, there are going to be some consequences or conditions that we create. But if we follow the prophet and trying to create or make those choices, then we won't err either, even in our foolish ways. So we got to keep those thoughts in mind. And the gist of all of this that we're talking about is that man is the cause of the conditions that he finds himself in. That's it. We cause things to be. Come on, Mo.
Yes, sir. I want to read oral statement number 27 in conjunction with Sister McGee Baker about the language of supply. It said, Holy Prophet said, one day, some of you Moors are going to be so hungry, right, that you are going to bite into your own flesh and blood will skeet out. And you are going to be angry with yourself. Like you talking about, we create our own condition. You're going to be angry with yourself because you didn't put up enough food. And he instructed us to put up a 90-day supply. So if you don't, then you're going to bite into your own flesh and you're going to be so angry with yourself that you didn't.
That's right. Praise God. So, Kubir, did you have anything? No. All right, bro. Talk for there. I know I overlooked
Yeah,
it.
I was looking for that, the one more, let me out where it's in this electrifying age.
That's in Moorish literature.
It's in Moorish literature?
Yes. Look on page 9.
Okay, that's what I'm.
While he's doing that, bro, J. Moore, but yeah, Jen, for something?
Yes, sir. That was,
Go ahead. Come right back to you, bro.
one of the prophet's old statements is, you can walk down the street by yourself now, but one day you won't be able to do that. And we can readily relate to that. All the things, all the madness that's happening in the community, in the streets now, it's not safe to walk down the streets by yourself as it might have been in the time of the prophet.
That's right. That's right. That's for real. Come on, Brother Thompson there. Wait a minute. You ready? Tell me when you're ready, Brother Crawford there. Come on, Brother Thompson there and Sister Singer there.
Yes, sir. Going back to what the prophet said to me is, I think he said there's only two things in the world, truth and falsehood.
Yes.
Man, we
choices. If there's only two things in all the world, that means how many choices you got?
One or two.
Yeah. You got two.
Two.
Now you gotta pick one of the two.
One or two, yeah.
And what we're here practicing is the truth so that we'll learn that it's the truth. If there's only two things in all the world, that keeps it simple and it also keeps us in alignment with the laws of God. Come on, bro. You not ready, brother Paul? Come on, sister.
I'm seeing you say on page 9.
In the Morris literature, it should be on page 9. I stand corrected if that's not the way. It says in the Savior of Humanity. That's on page 9 in the Morris literature. I'm looking right at it. It's called Savior of Humanity.
Yeah, in this electrifying age, men are racing into life without complete knowledge of where they are going and what the end will be. That's true. When riches seem to be their only pursuit to obtain in any way and at any cost. When selfish, avarice, greed, and lust dominate their very being. When humanity in general is left at the mercy of those who have no mercy in them.
Stop there?
Yeah.
Praise God. Now that's important, and that is directly relevant to what the prophet has said in the times that we live in. These are those electrified ages.
Yeah.
We're in it. This electrified age that we're in right now. He said men are racing into this life. Unconsciousness is what he's talking about. And even physically, from a figurative point of view, well, no, really it's literal. Because we see people racing up and down the street all the time. And without complete knowledge of where they are going or what the end will be. I see people zoom past people and cut in front of them, they're going right to the light.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. To be obtained when riches seem to be their only pursuit.
Yep.
And that's the key right now. Everybody's talking about they gotta get theirs. And they're doing it by any means. And they robbing everybody, running up in these stores and doing all kinds of stuff that's taking place. And y'all be careful because you gotta stay alert. We talked about that a couple weeks back. Alertness. When I had the little thing about us looking at what colors are in here.
Yeah.
That's about what you paying attention to out there.
Yeah.
That's what that was all about. And we always got to note our environment, our surroundings. What did the prophet say in reference to that? There's a statement in there. Where?
Least appearance of evil, respect the greatest thing.
Yes. We got to stay on that. We got to stay on, not to be paranoid, but to be aware of what you're doing and paying attention as you move around in this world. Because evil lurks around every corner. We gotta know that. Come on, Mom.
One of the statements, all statements stated that there's gonna come a time when a child can go to the store, and then when they return home and tell their mother they saw a man. Right? That means, to me, that a lot of people ripping around and doing a lot of things, they're not men. Right? Somebody that's dealing with the higher self, doing the things that Allah and the Prophet brought us to do, that's what make a man. Man ain't, they don't make a man because you can fight good, you got a lot of money and all that. That don't make a man. The man is more principles in your character to me. Peace.
Okay. Let me just help you to add a little bit to that. Because we got one of the things I've been really thinking about in reference to looking at the lessons as you go back over and study them, is that, and we just talked about it a minute ago.
Yeah.
He said he was going to make it so plain.
Yeah, cool.
I hear that science of what you're saying, but just keeping it on the level of just keeping it plain.
Right.
A child said they went to the store, according to the quote, I'm not
Yeah,
verbatim.
yeah.
You go back and tell their mother they saw a man.
Right.
The rest of that that's written in that, and you may not have made reference to, is it says because at that during that time, there's not going to be so many men around.
Yeah, I was saying, yeah.
And that's a physical piece that
Right.
many men at that point probably have been, for whatever reason, not seen on a regular basis.
Yeah.
It could be a result of a number of things.
Exactly.
And that may be something we're yet to see, or that might be something of a time when people were living where they were taking advantage of us, putting us in slavery, or even killing us all. That quote could have been reference to those times as well.
Praise the Lord.
So they talking about a child actually within an environment where there were not many men around.
Right.
That's what that boy was there. Somebody had their hand up. Come on, Sister Jason.
That, the Holy Prophet said, one day you will see a $20 bill in the street.
Right? Won't bend over to pick it up. Yeah.
That's number 167 in the course.
Right.
We may not be able to see
And
that.
just to keep it light, we ain't there yet.
Yeah,
We're gonna get at that point. We're gonna get at that point. But we can anticipate that it is coming. All right, who made you? Who was alive? Can we see him? Where's the nearest place we can meet him? Who is Noble Juali? What is a prophet? What is the duty of a prophet? Who is the founder of the Moore Science Temple of America? What year was the Moore Science Temple of America founded?
1913.
Where?
New Jersey.
Where was Noble Juali born?
1886.
What is his nationality?
Morse America.
What is your nationality?
Morse America.
Why are we Morse America?
America.
For what purpose was the Moore Science Temple of America founded? How did the prophet begin to uplift the Morse America?
Teaching them to be themselves.
What is our religion?
It's our religion.
Is that a new or is that the old time religion?
Old time religion.
What kind of a flag is the Morse?
It's a red flag with a green star center.
What do the 5 points represent?
Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice.
How old is our flag?
It's over 10,000 years old.
Which is our holy day?
Friday.
Why?
That's Friday. Friday.
Who was Jesus? Where was he born? Who was his father and mother?
Joseph Mary.
When you give him brief the line, genealogy through which Jesus came,
Son of the Father, Jesus came.
why did Allah send Jesus to this earth? Did I miss you on something you want to say? How long has that been?
About 2,000 years ago.
What was the nationality of who?
Who was the Moabites?
What is the modern name for Moabites?
Morocco.
Where is the Moroccan Empire?
Northwest Mexico.
What is the modern name for Mexico?
Africa.
What is the title given to our ruler Morocco?
Sultan.
Where do we get the name Jesus?
From the east.
What does the name Jesus mean?
Jesus is justice.
Did the angel give to the child that was called Jesus a holy name?
Yes, the God he by those who are saved.
What is an angel?
Angels all alive, that's in the flesh.
What are angels used for?
Carry us to the form of the world's all nations.
What is our prophet to us?
He is angel alive,
What is the everlasting gospel? What is the covenant of the great God Allah?
Honor thy father and mother.
At what age did Jesus begin to teach?
At age 12.
Where did he teach?
In the eye of your
How long did he teach?
18 years.
What did Jesus say that would make you free?
Truth.
What is truth?
Truth is all.
What is all?
All is God.
Can truth change?
Truth cannot change or pass away.
What other name do we give to truth?
Holy brother.
What have you to say about holy brother?
All we say is great.
At what place on earth was the physical part of man formed?
In God we
Where is the Garden of Eden? What is the modern name given to the Garden of Eden? Pardon, let me reread that. I'm sorry. What is the modern name for the Garden of Eden?
Marriage.
What is the name of the first physical man? What are the words of AC of the MST of A? Who were Adam and Eve? Where did they go? What is the modern name given to their children? Who was God in the holy city of Mecca today? Keep the unbelievers away. What is the modern name for those angels? What is the shade of their skin? The Morse American, any relation to those angels?
Yes, we all have the same father and mother.
Give 5 names that are given to the descendants of Adam and Eve.
Lucifer, Satan, devil, dragon, and Eve.
What is the devil sometimes called?
The Lord self.
How many cells are there?
2.
Name them.
High self, Lord self.
What people represent the highest self?
Angels who take those here in the earth.
What people represent the lower self?
Those who cast out those here, those who accept the teaching.
What is the highest self?
High self, the one who lives you, harms the light, through justice, mercy, love, and right.
When the highest self pass away?
No,
Why?
because it's a lot of name.
What does the lower self breathe?
Angels sang and blues, birds, step, and everything along.
What did the higher self say to the lower self at one time when he met?
Well, you won't say it.
What was the answer that the lower self gave to the higher self?
I'm going to the Florida to see
As he finished his task of devouring,
Yes.
what was his time declared out?
When you get Jesus on the cross,
What are the last words Jesus uttered?
it is finished.
What did he have reference to?
He had reference to it and say,
Did Jesus say that he will return to conquer him?
yes.
What is the name of the person into whom? Pardon, let me read that up. What is the name of the person into whom Jesus first reincarnated? Was Satan to be bound then?
Satan was down in power.
When was the head of Satan taken off?
1450
By whom?
by
Name some of the marks that were put upon the Moors and northwest by the European nations in 1774.
Negro, black, color, Negro.
Negro.
Name given to a river, that's happened by more than things like that.
What is meant by the word black?
Black, according to science, is there.
What does the word colored mean?
Color means anything that paint the same line as the eye.
What does Ethiopia mean?
Ethiopia means something bad.
Can a man be a Negro, black, colored, or Ethiopian?
No,
Why?
because man is making him nothing like that.
What title does Satan give himself?
You
define the word white?
Right means church means God.
To whom do you refer to the time when you wake up? Is the devil made in the image and likeness of Allah?
No, he's a shadow of the Lord, so he'll pass away.
Who made the devil?
Even
Who is the other?
in the 7 great spirit that created everything that was, is, and I want to be.
What is Elohim sometimes called?
7 eyes of Allah.
How many days are in the circle?
7 days.
How many days are in the creation?
7 days.
According to science, how many days in a year?
7 days.
Praise be to Allah, Lord. So now, these 101 questions and answers, they are very high lessons. Very high lessons. We're blessed to be able to have this information and be privy to it. Any questions, comments, or statements anyone wants to make in reference to the 101 questions and answers that we just went through? These all should be thought-provoking calls. We have to continue to go over these questions and answers because they begin to unfold to us. They unfold even more based on how you practice and how you think. And then, what kind of questions are these?
Question for Ron's children. Koran question.
Yes, you both right. And I was making reference to it for us to look at these based on what the prophet said, and they are spiritual. But on the front of the questionnaire, it says Koran question for Moors and murder. So that tells you what? Okay, one at a time. Come on, brother. Have a start, but
They are questions concerning
Our Holy Koran.
Yes. The Koran questions from Marshall. Come on, Brother J.
It
Marshall.
also shows the connection between the two. The questionnaire questions, we should really go to our Koran.
Yes.
To find the answers to the questions in the one-on-one.
Right. And what does that take? But some of these may not be plain before your face. You may be going in there looking for something, and you might not see it. But then you think that it's not in there. But it is in there. Islam, brother.
Just trying to figure the question that you asked. Let me know that from that question there's questions we can ask and questions that we can go upon that can be already answered, but where we at as members of More Science of America. We can start with these questionnaires and we can undo some things, questions, that we may have about what the prophet meant by the verse of who is Allah. We can start, going in depth, knowing who Allah is. That the questionnaire, they give us more information and knowledge about the more scientific process of the questionnaire that the prophet wrote.
And to your point, you go into the Koran and look it up. Chapter 35 talks about it. Many of the chapters talk about who is Allah. So you got to study your questionnaire, you got to study your Koran.
Exactly.
You match it up when you're looking at these questions, you have your Koran next to you, you go in there and find a chapter that talks about the question that you're looking at. And some, as I said, you might not get the answer that you are looking for, but it is there. And you may not be able to get the answer that you're looking for. Remember, we're unfolding. And everything that you may want to have an answer to, what does that tell you if you go ahead and don't find the answer you're looking for, or you can't see it ready? It should tell you two things. Two things just come to my mind. But what y'all think it should tell you? If you go in the questionnaire, you pull out a question, and I'm asking y'all, if you have a question about something, which all of y'all should, because I already know, you don't know the answer to all these. You have the answer, but you may not have the in-depth understanding of these questions right now. That's why I say two things should come in your mind. One should be you got to continue to study. The second is that you're not at a certain unfolding in your development yet to see it. I just said something a moment ago. I said I go back and I've been studying, I'm looking at things, and things are becoming more clearer to me because you have to continue to study. This is spirit. Somebody talked about it. And spirit, as he tells us, unfolds. We're not ready for all of this. We're not ready to talk about all of this right now. There are different phases of development that we have to go through in order for us to have these seeds of perfect development. Remember, what's inside of us? Spirit. Spirit. And the seed of what? Perfect development. The seed of perfect development. Remember, Allah has given us the seed. We're spirit and a part of Him. Now these things, when we talk about our spirit, you already know. But what are we trying to do?
Unfold.
Unfold and get back. Get back. Right now, we're in a carnal state. But we're learning that we can regain our lost state as we practice these teachers and reconnect with our Father God out. There's something in the Koran that tells us this. And Jesus was talking to, who was he talking to? Either Rav or Lamas. I'm not pulling it verbatim right now, even though I do know. He said, mind never does forget. Mind never does forget. Ronald Reagan was telling him about the priest had told him so.
Right.
And where did Jesus have to take him?
In
Say it, sis.
the land of flesh.
In the land of fleshless things. Why he had to take him there?
Trace yourself back.
All right, all right. One at a time, let me see. Come on, Brother Davis. Why did he have to take him there?
I think he had to take him there so he can be what he knows, like so he can physically see it, and not just because Barada he was talking about something that he didn't experience himself, if I remember correctly.
Some of it.
Right. Yeah, he was talking about being a bird or animal, and I feel like Jesus had to take him to the land of fleshless things to show him exactly where he came.
Okay, that's good. That's good. That's a good part of it. What else did he say to Barada in that exchange? Y'all gotta remember some of these things because they're important.
Good things that made it.
We're the same ones. Remember, he asked him something because Barada Label had developed to a certain point. And he asked him a question.
He asked him,
He asked him a couple questions.
who told you so?
Who told you this? And then when he answered him, he said, enlighten the Rabo. What does that mean?
Acknowledge.
Yeah. He'd been raised up to a certain level of development. And then he asked him, are you not a what?
Mastermind.
Come on, man. So that let me think about one thing. I'm not saying that it was, but it seems as though Ronald Reagan was relying on something that he was told, even though he had the ability to find out for himself. What let you know that he had the ability to find out for himself? One key thing y'all just talked about a minute ago.
Mastermind.
Okay, but what took place to let him know that? We just talked about it. What did you say?
The land of flesh.
He took him in the land of blessed state. He wouldn't have been able to take him there if he wasn't developed to that point. He took him there easily.
Didn't he tell him mastermind should trace themselves?
Exactly.
Thus they know.
And the point I just made, the mind never does forget. He told him that. He reminded him of that. That's really what he did. Ronald Reagan had all this information that Jesus talked about, but he settled for what he was being told by the priest. From time which we remember not. And that's the same question you got to ask yourself. From time which you remember not, what were you?
Spirit.
What were you? That's why we be in enlightened faith. That's why we hear practice. And that's why you have to continue to come and practice in here so that you can also ask your questions, brother. And I saw your hand, brother, Brandon. And because he talked about it earlier. But what the point is, we got to be able to practice these teachings so that they begin to unfold inside of us. And on that way to practicing, we got to be doing other things that the prophet talked about. Turn from sin, strive for purity in life, obey your prophet to meet with more, come to your meetings promptly and consistently, study yourself. Know thyself and thy Father God out. And we have two cells, and in chapter 3 it teaches us that he who knows well his lower self knows what? He who knows his higher self knows what? Continue to practice. If you would ask me what to study next, I would say what?
Yourself.
So we got to stay there. We got to stay there. Come on, bro, baby.
I was just looking at chapter 11. Jesus and the rock.
I see you, bro, Brandon.
You know, they read from the same book.
Yeah.
It's like all of us in here, we read from the whole Koran and one time to the learn.
Right.
But it was a different understanding when they talked. So we gotta look at ourselves, but that's us back then. This us now.
Right.
We read from the same book, but yet we still come up with different understandings. You know? So I think to my understanding that certain things will be revealed to us as we grow and develop in the movement, and we study. We study in that which is right. That don't mean just books alone, but you actually got to live it.
Right.
You know, you probably get more understanding.
That's it. That's
That's
it.
my people.
That's it.
Let me add something to that.
That's it.
Because one of the things, you may be on, one of the things that stifles our ability to have a great understanding is the things that we accept. Look at what the chapter we're talking about. What that showed you was that Barado Rabo accepted what he was told.
Right.
Where he could just within his own self just kind of got still and go within, and he would have been enlightened even more because our ideas of the understanding. He was relying on the priest to give it to him. So you can't rely on, and it's what you accept as the truth. So you gotta have questions when you're going through the ways of life, especially when we're dealing with spirit, and it's all not gonna come to you instantly. But you gotta work on it. Come on, brother Brandon, back.
It's going back to talking about mind never does forget. And you read, you know, from a chapter, Matthew, especially on something like you know, dealing with what Jesus was dealing with the God, lady, which was a Buddhist priest. You know, so his name was a Buddhist priest. You know, with that lesson, you know, tell you that's a lesson I learned it. You look into it, but it went down in there when Barado and Jesus talking, see if Jesus said to about it in verse 9. And he said, and Jesus said, Barado Ray, who told you this? That mind, which is man, that corporate. You know, when you tell me mind never does get that corporate. But Jesus like went on with the purpose, said, man, which is mine, right? And made manifest in the flesh of these upward or creeping things. That's a question that maybe had to go in more. But that statement right there, that purpose said when he said, man, which is mine, that quote me. You know what I'm saying? When we talk about mind never does forget. It fails to be called and all this, and what Jesus said, when I got up there, you know, he tell me another because you know the mind. You know, what the mind does and what it is, you know, we can go more into other lessons, but that quote me right there, you know, what that mind never does forget. You know?
Yeah, that's what Jesus told Barado Rabo. Barado Rabo was saying, man, with his mind. So in that conversation, Jesus actually helps him to clear it up. Okay. We're going to go to chapter number 20 a little bit before we close out. I know the Grand Chief was here last week, and you all who were present, and those who weren't, I'm sure you had where you were at during the week, looking at this lesson, chapter 20, divine instructions from the Holy Prophet, holy instructions and warning for all young men. And several things we discussed last time when we were here about this chapter, and one of the things I always ask y'all to do, and I often ask you, what did you remember from the last conversation? What stuck with you when we were going over last week when the Grand Chief and moderator was instructed? Each week we got to make sure that we're holding on to these conversations that we're having here in our setting, because Allah is speaking to us, to each other. And they say that Allah speaks to man through man. And so we all got to make sure that we're paying attention to things that were stated. And you often are reminded by several of the chairman, the Grand Governor. They are two that oftentimes mention it, as well as Sister Grand Chief and a few others. Bring your literature and bring your pencil and paper.
Right.
Allah might reveal something to us today that we never heard before. We don't ever know when something is going to be revealed. And that's part of what the Grand Chief, Sister Grand Chief was saying. Much of these teachers because I was asking a question, and in your questionnaire, there are things that we're not going to be able to answer right now. It has to be revealed to you. Certainly these lessons are too high and they're not known by carnal men. They have to be revealed to us. And that's what the prophet is doing. He's revealing the truth to us. Now, just by a show of hands, how many of you all knew before you came into the Moorish Temple of America, the first true and divine name of Africa? How many of y'all knew that before you came in here? And I'm not suggesting somebody didn't know. I'm just suggesting that the majority of us didn't. That's why ain't no hands go up.
Pray about that. Pray about it.
That had to be revealed to us.
Yeah.
And that's why you stay in here and you study these teachings. Because there are lessons in here that you're not going to find readily. I don't say you won't find them out there, but readily you're not going to find them out there. This is our guide right here. We don't go out there and mess up on this. We take this and everything that may match up to it, praise God. This is what we go with. Praise God. All right, give me something. Holy instructions from one for all young men. I'm going to read the first instruction. It says, beware, young man. Beware of all the allurements of wantonness, and let not the harlot tempt thee to excess and hurried delights. What did you learn from that chapter? Some words were defined, different comments was made. What are we talking about? Islam relationally.
I learned about the allurements.
Okay, what you
things
learned?
that I pay attention to. That's what caused me to think some of the things I think.
Okay. And what does allurements mean?
Attract.
We can attract you to what you pay attention to.
Different attractions. So what allures you? Read the definition of allurement. He's giving them a warning, right? He said, beware, young man, beware of all the allurements of wantonness. So what are the allurements of wantonness?
Excitement, temptation.
Lacking restraint.
That's why we gotta find these words. You gotta look them up. Come on, bro, senior.
Allurement, fascination, charm,
Right?
the active process of alluring.
Right.
It's like, you see something and it grabs your attention. Charm.
And where does that come from?
Carnal side.
Yeah. We gotta know this comes from your carnal appetites and desires. What does the Lord self-breed? And what does it offer? What does it offer?
Pleasure, satisfying gain.
Pleasure, joy, and satisfying gain. That's an allurement. And then it gives. That's a result of the allurement. It's warning us. It offers this one thing, it gives you this. What it offers is not real because it's what? Illusion. An illusion. Apple that is what? But it's what? Full of bitterness and gall. So the allurement is the shining apple. The big shining apple, shining bright, look at taste it. And you bite into it. The core of it is full of bitterness and gall. It's rotten on the inside. So that's what we're trying to be aware of. What is this wantonness we're talking about? You might look it up. Wantonness. You gotta know these words because the prophet is using these to give us a description of things that you're going to encounter that you had not applied these particular lessons to before because you did not have them. Now we got it, we gotta apply these lessons to these things. Come on, Sister Tia. McGee, baby.
Wanting, waste time, spend on time, idly or inefficient.
Okay, read that again.
Waste time, spend more time idly or inefficiently.
Waste time or spend time idly or inefficiently. The allurements of wantonness, of wasting time. What's another definition? Do we have another one? Come on, brother. Perman Baker.
Undisciplined, lewd, lustful, having no regard for justice or other person's feelings righteously or safety.
Right. We can combine those definitions because they apply here. The waste of time, the disregard for justice. Come on, Sister Chandelier, you got something else?
Reading, I found was the trade of happiness, for control, recklessness.
Recklessness. That's important to know.
Yeah.
You can't become reckless. And what helps us not to be reckless?
Rule.
Say it.
Principle.
Principle, which gives us rule. And that's what we gotta have so we can have some control over ourselves. And he said, establish unto thyself principles of action and see that thou ever act according to them. And that part is important because you gotta establish the principles as the first step. Then you gotta see that you ever act according to them is the second step. Because we live life in what? Moments. From one moment to the next. There's going to be a challenge. There's going to be a lesson. There's going to be something you're going to have to make a choice about. And we must be prepared in the Koran. And this is why we got to study. And I don't boast to be about, I know all this. I say this. I've learned about that. Because the greater in the present will do what? Swallow up the lesser and the past. See, you can't linger too long thinking about yesterday. It's gone. Now, you may have some things you can hold on to because you may have learned a lesson from it that can benefit you. But you can't stay stuck there. You got to be prepared to move on because they're going to come something even greater tomorrow. And even if it's a good thing, even if you have a victory, don't shower yourself with a whole lot of accolades in that victory because there's going to be another challenge tomorrow. And the challenge may be even greater. And that victory will be shown to be very small in light of the moment that you're in now. And that's why he teaches us another great lesson. The soldier never knows his strength until he meets the foe. You meet foes every day. The majority of them are within yourself. Why? Because they become choices that man must make. Now those choices, you're going to meet it in. But our present choice depends what? Future. Exactly. So you're going to determine whether you're going to create heaven or hell for yourself in that next moment that's coming up. The choice that you make, you got to remember, the appearance may be greater than its actual, what it gives you. And that's why we're trying to start to learn how to determine one from the other. He's going to teach us some things. Yes, on.
If I can recall, this can refer to a man too.
These lessons? Well, you're talking about young men. But the lessons are for everybody. Lessons for everybody.
But when you see her, you always talking about, you would assume it's always about a woman. Or sister.
Yeah.
But this drives the boat.
It does. It does. Now, well, that's the case, just like you may see in the Koran and in our lessons, we talk about man. And he used just the word man. But that includes the woman and the man.
Exactly.
Whatever gender you are, mankind. That encompasses male and female. So you got to remember that. And then there's a second stage of the lesson that we look at, that yes, he specifically, in certain instances, are talking to men, way, thinking a certain way. Women go through life thinking a certain way. And this next chapter, you see what he talks about in reference to the sisters. But even before you get there, in this same chapter, he's talking about the sisters. But yeah, he's telling young men. Because what takes place when you're a young man? We got a lot of young men in here. What takes place when you're a young man? Versus being a young woman. Come on. There are different things that men and women go through differently. So he's distinguishing certain things, but yes, it's a universal lesson that each gender can learn. And they have to learn it because you got to know what I might do when I'm approaching you as a male, and I might as a female. You got to see what them guys are doing. But it's going to talk about that too. Come on.
Wantonness.
Yes.
Okay. I was looking at the definition, but I was trying to figure out how it fit. So I was scrolling down, and in the verse it says, beware young men, beware all the allurements of wantonness.
Yes.
Okay? And I'm at a definition there, unrestrained.
Right.
Okay? So, like you said, as a young man, as we moving around, it's like we talk about self-control. It's unrestrained.
Yeah.
You know, we just moving without even thinking. You know, so it's unrestrained.
Yeah. And see, and the reason I was talking about the young men just now because of this. In many cases, all of us were, you know,
It's young at one point.
yeah, and mostly in this area, or urban areas. We know that there's certain customs that go on. Men usually go out of the house before the women do, especially for us to go back a minute. You know, when I say go out of the house, there were certain, like today, there's no holds barred. But back when we were younger, there were some principles, things that you couldn't do in the neighborhood. You couldn't just say certain things in the neighborhood. You didn't come up in a certain way that somebody would check you if certain behaviors were seen, you know, or you acted a certain way. And I'm going back a little bit, but my point is, as young men, we're looked to be able to go out, get engaged in the community, get jobs. Some were going into the service, others were going to school, doing different things, or learning a trade to support their families. So it's always the male who was expected to kind of go out early. Now, as a young man, like Rebecca said, many of us come up in those communities. There was things going on. And you easily would hear some of the elders say, that's no place for a young woman. Because women couldn't be in some of them places back in that time. Or they would be frowned upon. Certain behaviors. Now, as a young man, the prophet is warning him that there are some women that are out there. And y'all know it. Ain't like we ain't been out in the world before. There are certain types of women that are in the community. And he warned of even of certain thinking type. So as a young man who's reckless, trying to find his way and find out who he is, he warned them that there's some pitfalls out there you gotta be watching for. And there are certain women that are out there that wait for young men to come out there. You know, come on, we all grown here. I mean, not our babies. We ain't gonna be out of control. What they're gonna be taught by their parents and what the prophet is teaching them is what they gotta look out for too.
Right.
So we wanna make sure that we are seeing these pictures of things that the prophet is talking about. But also, what he's also doing is giving his brothers, who he's talking to first, a warning of how you gotta conduct yourself. And that's why principles are so important. Come on, brother, friend,
Well, I want to say that in this chapter, they're talking about the word holiday. And I think that refers to both man and woman.
It is. And it's a behavior pattern. Be male or female. Harlot. But look these words up and fit them into the context of the conversation that the prophet is having, because they apply to both male or female, and it's all about behavior and it's all about how you think. And we have to have principles to help us control ourselves, because we are in the carnal flesh, the body of desires. Peace, Moses. I gotta read.
Peace.
I'm at the reading now.
That's my motion.
Wow.
I'd like to thank the Grand National Chairman of the Board of Science, who's on some of the Grand Sheik here, and Temple 71 Brother PJ's here for Sunday school. Provoking thoughts, concerns, and just having a good conversation.
Yes.
And it's good. It's good
Yes.
when we exercise.
Yes, yes.
This is where we exercise. You know, when you exercise, you get a little better. So we want to exercise our five senses.
Yes.
Something that you don't see, but you know, when you work it, you put it in motion.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so it's a good thing. So with that said, I'm gonna call for back our Grand Sheik here, 271, Brother PJ's here to read the one. Can you get him your undivided attention?
Swam? Can I give praise to our great God of the universe, and give honor to the holy prophet, and the glory, give honor to each and every one of you. January 15, 1929, Prophet Monroe Martin's governors ordered to read proclamation at each meeting. I hereby inform all members that they must end all radical, agitating speeches while at work, in their homes, or on the streets. We are for peace and not destruction. Stop flashing your card at Europeans and causes confusion. Remember, your card is for your salvation. Failure to obey these orders will be a severe consequence. We offer love, truth, peace, and freedom, and when these principles are violated, justice then must take its course. Any member or group of members who hold malicious feelings toward the temple or the prophet, or violate the divine covenant of the Moorish movement, will receive their reward from Allah for their unjust deeds. All true Moors will and must obey the law, as laid down to them by their prophet. If they lose confidence in their prophet, they should turn in their card, button, cease wearing their turban or fez, and return to the state that I, the prophet, founded. This is a holy and divine movement founded by the prophet Ali. And if the prophet is not right, the temple is not right. The prophet, therefore, is sending out the divine movement to all Muslim Americans that they do their part in protecting their prophet and the temple. This is an everlasting movement founded by the prophet through the will of Allah to redeem his people from their sins for order of prophet. Peace.
Come on, Moses.
Yes, sir.
This portion of our meeting is dedicated to our passing of our collection baskets. There will be 2 baskets passed. Public collections, meaning Memorial Salvation Fund, public collection, and public collection. And I'm over the floor for announcements. Any announcements?
On behalf of the 276 Committee, on our Jackson Rio, spoke to him this past week. He's been in the hospital for 4 days, and he was released yesterday, and he said he's doing better.
Praise God. I'm glad you let us know. You know, you know.
Much better.
It's not, boss. Finally got the suits here for the brothers. So I don't see too many brothers here today. But when we see them, we gonna be in the alley.
Speak up, brother.
In the alley with the suit. We'll be in the alley with the suit. So yeah, alley right here by the temple.
You got the suit there.
We got the suits. Got the suits with us. We're gonna put it on the rack and make the choice. Praise the Lord.
It's not, but hopefully, it ain't that many brothers here. Look like, you don't want to keep bringing it back and forth. If the grand she can allow, you can sit the rack up in the basement.
Let me take a look and see what's going on. We gotta see the can't class coming up with right now.
Yeah, I just think, I think the rack ain't gonna take up too much room. It'll fit on the wall down in the basement. It's possible.
It's on. Brother, we gotta do a couple of things. You have a vehicle out there in the alley now?
Yes.
Yeah, the truck out there.
Listen to me. You can't let that truck sit there, the alley up, because the community uses that alley a lot.
Allah, Father, universe.
Allah, Father, universe.
Father, love.
Father, love.
Truth.
Peace.
Freedom. And justice. Allah is my protector.
Allah is my protector.
My guide.
My guide.
And my salvation.
And my salvation.
By night.
By night.
And by day.
And by day.
Through his holy prophet.
Through his holy prophet.
Through Ali.
Through Ali.